So the question is, why does Hashimoto's cause fatigue? Because it's your thyroid, that's why. So your thyroid is, you know, it's funny, I was involved with a group years ago that was in the early stages of trying to figure out fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue. And my mentor is, if you've watched many of my videos, is Dr. Datis Karazian, and he's the guy who figured out that most of these chronic fatigue patients probably had a thyroid problem, but he was the one who took it the extra step and said, I think it's autoimmune thyroid disease. And he was met with much skepticism, you know, and I was one of them. And but you know, in retrospect, it's like, duh, it's your thyroid. It controls your energy. it's like if your thyroid's like goes hypothyroid and it's not, you know, doing its job, you're going to be fatigued. And it seemed so obvious once, you know, the brain started to process that. I mean, the basics of it is pretty simple. Your cells have these organs in them, little organelles, okay, inside of the cells, and they're called mitochondria. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of them. Some of you probably even take mitochondrial support and CoQ10 and all this type of stuff. But that's where the energy is made, in those little energy factories in your cell. And it's pretty basic. They need proper oxygen. They need proper blood sugar. They need a lack of inflammation, a lack of oxidative stress. In other words, they need oxidative stress kind of grinds down your cells and like it kind of rusts them out. Inflammation disturbs all function in a cell. It needs all of those things. And it needs proper T3. T3 is the end product of the thyroid hormone factory in your thyroid, which makes this thyroid hormone called T4, and then that's broken down into T3, and that's the active form. And when that hooks in to that cell, and then it goes in your cell and it gets into those little mitochondria, and this is where, for those of you chemistry geeks, this is where the Krebs acid cycle, citric acid cycle, is also part of this, where people are taking CoQ10 and all that stuff. You're going to get energy. You're going to get energy. Hyperthyroid lifts all boats too much, and hypothyroid depresses it. So Hashimoto's has both aspects of hypothyroid and hyperthyroid. When the thyroid's getting beat up from your immune system attacking it because you've exposed yourself to one of the 40 triggers or 42 triggers of autoimmune thyroid disease, it's going to get beat up, and while it's getting beat up, it's going to be making too much thyroid hormone. It's going to be damaging tissue. Thyroid hormone is going to be going into your bloodstream from the damaged tissue, and you're going to be like this. But for the most part, that's intermittent in the vast majority of Hashimoto's patients. And when that attack stops, you go into hypothyroid function because you just beat up your thyroid. And you're continually attacking your thyroid on a low level with inflammatory responses on a subtle level and so on and so forth. So the thyroid goes into low function. The actual term for Hashimoto's is Hashimoto's hypothyroiditis, okay? Hashimoto's hypothyroid disease. When you go into hypo, everything slows down. You can get low blood pressure, you can get cold hands and feet, you can get your heartbeat might start slowing down, but your cells start slowing down in making energy, okay? And so a cardinal sign of Hashimoto's, one of the most cardinal signs is fatigue. Is this usually pretty profound fatigue because that low thyroid affects every single one of the trillions of cells that are in your body. So yeah, so fatigue and Hashimoto's one of the most cardinal signs of Hashimoto's is profound fatigue. So the answer to that question is yes.